don't have the light on, huh? Red light. All right, this is Daddy Jack's Cooking with the Blues here. Chaplin's Restaurant, 165 Bank Street, New London, Connecticut. Bob Jacko on camera. My main man Tommy Walters back here in the kitchen helping me. So we had a request. I put out some ideas, and we had a request. Unfortunately, I don't have the name who gave me the request, but we're gonna put that in after the fact. But anyway, they want to see onion soup, and now's the season. It's a fall season here in New England, here in New London, Connecticut. And so anyway, onion soup, you got to have a combination of chicken stock and beef stock. So, and I'm going to do a little twist on mine where I went to the butcher shop today and some short ribs. He was a fantastic butcher there at Stop and Shop, and he close trimmed them for me. So I got a couple pieces of short ribs. I'm going to brown them up and make the chicken, the beef stock for our for our soup, the base for our soup. So a little bit of oil, salt and pepper. I'm not going to put any flour because we don't want any flour in our onion soup. Okay. So I'm going to just brown those up real good, and then what I'm going to do is I have some chicken stock. I'm going to cover it with chicken stock so we got a real strong flavor in our broth. Okay. And we'll come back when there's a little more brown on the short ribs. Okay, so here we got them nice and browned. You see this, Bob? Nice and browned in there, right? So what I'm going to do is, for the coloring of the soup, and then we really have to caramelize the onions. So what I'm going to do is, but I don't like the texture of just the onions when they're totally caramelized and they're too soft. So I'm going to add some of the onions now into these. So here's how I cut the onion for my onion soup. Follow the grain, the natural grain. Okay. See how I do that? Cut it in half. Then roll it over. And I'm going to put some, these are some Spanish onions. Do the same. You follow the natural curvature of, see the ribs of the onion. So I'm gonna put, we got the fat in there. That's good flavor coming off the beef fat. So if you can smell that. Bob, you got smell-o-vision on your camera? Should have had it. Come on, man. It just costs you an extra couple thousand added onto your camera. But added some garlic in there. I'm gonna do some salt and pepper. Okay. So that's gonna be for basically for our stock. But I'm going to let that really cook down. Then I'm going to add some wine into it. And actually put my chicken stock over the top so we got, like I said, a concentrated flavor. Okay, so we're back. And here, let me just show you. So we got the onions and the short ribs cooking together. I'm not trying to brown these down. I'm just trying to, this is going to be for our stock, for the base. So I got like red wine, whatever I have open. I like a little wine in mine, red wine. And I have some sherry wine. I like sherry wine. Okay. And then Tommy got me, I don't know if you have fresher, I like rosemary, a little bit of rosemary. Okay, Tommy, grab me that black pepper, will you? A little bit of rosemary. I like in the onion soup. No, I got it. And then good amount of just good sprinkles of black pepper. I don't like cracked black pepper that much, but so this is like a table grind. And then I add some chicken stock. We're just gonna Bring it up, cover it up with some chicken stock. Okay. And that's it. I'm gonna put this on a slow back burner for, this is the start of the onion soup. So we're gonna put that on the back burner for about maybe an hour, just to simmer it down, get all the flavor on the bone, let that meat braise, get nice and tender. Okay. Okay, so then put on the back burner, and I'm not gonna add the salt and pepper right yet. I'm gonna let it simmer down before, and adjust the seasoning at the end. I don't want to over salt it, over pepper it. Okay, so our onion soup has been cooking, and you know, with our short ribs in it, right? Cooking nicely. So now I'm gonna do some more onions. We're gonna brown them up real good. That'll give the soup some added color and depth, flavor. So got a skillet with some butter. Okay, Bob, got this. Again, we'll more onions. And we got we'll add this into the soup. I kind of was thinking about some names, you know, with the beef added into it. So I was thinking of calling it a French dip onion soup. I'm going to add some more garlic. Okay, I'm going to cover these, trap a little bit of the heat, and just let them go. Let them get nice and brown, add them into our soup, and we'll be ready to go. All right, you know, for the onion soup, I hate the bread when they put it inside the soup, and it gets soggy, and it soaks up all the good broth, and you know, it's nasty to me. So what I like to do is I like to cut the bread on an angle on the croutons, and real thin. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to serve these in a soup cup, and this will put them over the edge so it doesn't set down in the soup. Okay, like that. Okay. Lay them out on your pan, sheet pan. Okay. Do a half a piece of cheese on each one. Swiss cheese, of course. Gruyere, the best cheese or whatever you can buy. But Gruyere is the best, I think. Kind of classic. Okay. Hey, that's good. I don't mind the phone ringing. That means we might be having some business come in, so it's always good. Uh-oh. Just put my water. Okay, a little Parmesan. Just for the, I like that for the coloring. So right in the oven. Onions cooking. See the color we got? Nice color. Whenever you put a lid on, you get a tremendous amount of heat that's trapped. And it kind of steams them, and it's almost like you get double the cooking time, you know, out of it by doing that. Just got a little salt and pepper. Okay, so we're going to finish up our onion soup. We got nice color off the beef. And then, so these onions are going to be really well cooked. These got a little bit of color, but they'll be a little more crisper. So I got a little more chicken stock, just to kind of deglaze the bottom of that pan. Right? Add this into the soup. So that's it, really. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull out the beef. The short rib. And then I'm just gonna let that simmer over here, and add a little bit more sherry wine now. Let this cool a minute, and then actually not. I'm gonna cut these right up, and because they're still a little bit on the tough side, you know. They probably could have used another half hour, you know, but once I add them back into the soup, they'll soften up. Okay. Look at that now. French dip onion soup. It's my version of it. So I'm going to let that just simmer for 15 minutes while the croutons are in the oven. And then we'll dig in. Alright, we're going to pull the croutons out of the oven. This is how we're going to do it. Tommy, give me a couple of soup cups, please. Got our soup right here. Oh, cut the other one. Yeah. We got one more of those, Tommy. Okay, so we're gonna dish these up. Our French dip onion soup. Cold New England fall day, and this is how I like to do it. Stack them up a couple. Stack them up a couple instead of that bread getting all soggy. Right? And that's it. A little bit of green onion. Yeah, to me I like it better because then you can take a crouton and dip it into the soup. But this is, again, real hearty, beautiful soup for the fall. You can either do it the traditional way and get a crock and put the bread in, the cheese over top. I know a lot of people like that too, so, but this is my take on it. Daddy Jack's Cooking with the Blues. Bob Jacko on camera. Couldn't do it without you, my friend. And friends in the house. Vicky stopped in. Lakeisha. Got Tommy W back there. Bon appetit.